Abbie. So I know I haven't done a video in a really long time, so I wanted to kind of do a bit of a fresh start, so I thought what better way than to start with a Q&A. So here we are. I'm not too sure how many questions I'm going to get through, but I've got a big list on my phone, so without further ado, let's get to know me. When were you born? So I was born in 1992. What is your full name? So my full name is Abigail Margaret Snape. And are you named after somebody? If yes, then after who? So my first name wasn't named after anybody in particular, but my mum and dad were in the supermarket and they heard a little naughty girl get told off, and her name was Abigail, so that's where my name came from. And my middle name is my nan's name. Do you love playing any sports or just watching it? I don't play a lot of sport and I don't watch sport either, so sorry. I do like watching the Olympics though, and Wimbledon when that's on, but other than that, can't really say I'm into anything. Who is your favourite musician? So I really like Kygo. I can put his music on and just instantly be in a nice summery mood. Do you have any children? Nope, I don't have any children. What is your favourite thing to drink? So my favourite thing to drink is lemonade. Dave's dad has brought us a hamper for Easter, and Dave's has got all Coca-Cola and beers and things in, and mine is just all different types of lemonade. So I'm looking forward to starting that a bit later on. Are you married or single, and why? So I'm engaged, but unfortunately due to the coronavirus, our wedding, which was due to go ahead on the 6th of June this year, has had to be postponed, but we get more time to save up now, more time for me to actually work on my pre-wedding diet, which didn't go too well this time round. Kind of like I'm getting a bit of a second chance to try and fit into my dress. Which business would you want to have and why? So I would love to start some kind of art business, something where I get to be a bit creative. I'd love to do photography. I think if I drove and had a car, I'd probably spend a lot more time doing photography. But yeah, something creative. How tall are you, and have you ever dreamed of being taller? So I'm 5'5". When I was younger, I always wished I was a couple more inches taller just so I could have got into modelling, but now I don't really, it doesn't bother me that much. Some of these questions are really random. Have you ever dreamed of being a successful lawyer? No. Do you have siblings? If so, how many? Yep, I have one sister called Heidi. She's younger than me, but she acts like the older one. She acts like my big sister. Do you use Apple or Android? Apple. I have like an Android, I think it is Android anyway, kind of phone for work, and I cannot use it. I literally know how to answer a phone call and put the phone down. That's pretty much everything, so yeah, I love Apple just because it is so simple and so easy. When was the last time you cried? Last time I cried would have been probably whilst watching a film. I'm awful for crying at films. Even if it's a sad film or a happy film, it can be a funny moment or a happy moment, I just end up crying for no reason. Do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? I prefer Coke. When I was at college, I used to drink so much Coca-Cola. I tend to not drink that much anymore. And like I said, I'll always probably choose a lemonade. How would you describe yourself to a blind person? Blonde, long hair, pointy nose, blue eyes, saggy eyelids. What has been your biggest regret up to now? So I don't think I've got anything that I look back and I completely regret doing. I think everything that's happened in my life happened for a reason, and I'm happy that everything's just happened the way it did. But I would have loved to go university and move to a city and did the whole kind of university lifestyle kind of thing. I also wish that I'd gone travelling sooner as well. So a few years ago, me and Dave went travelling for about 9 months, and I wish I'd done that sooner when I was younger. I wish I'd have worked abroad, maybe moved to Australia for a year or so. So yeah, I think that's what I regret, but I think everything's turned out lovely anyway, so I'm happy with how everything's gone. What would you do if $1 million was given to you with no strings attached? I would do up our bathroom, because we've got a bath, but there was a time when we first moved in, I had a bath, pulled the plug out, got myself ready for bed, and then I came downstairs and the kitchen surfaces were just covered in water, and all of the water from the bath had come down into the kitchen. So whenever I have a bath now, I'm always so nervous that it's going to happen again. And we've got like a dog puppy pad under the bath to try and soak up any water, because it does still like drip out. So yeah, I'd love to have a bathroom done, and I'd love to have some garden furniture because we've got some lovely weather right now and I just wish we'd got a sofa in the garden. But then again, $1 million, I'd probably just move. Yeah, I think I'd probably move actually. Where would you live if you had to stay there for the rest of your life? So if I had to stay there and I couldn't move anywhere else, I'd probably stay somewhere quite local, just so I'm near my friends and family. But my dream would be to live in Australia or New Zealand, somewhere like that. I love the beach, I love being by the beach and being on the beach, so I would love to have a house that just overlooks the coastline. If you could be an animal for a day, what would you be? I would love to swap lives with my dog Tinkerbell, just to see what she thinks, just to see a day in her life from her perspective. If you were a teacher, what subject would you teach? I'd love to teach art, I'd love to teach ceramics. I did a ceramics course a couple of years ago and I really enjoyed that, so I wish I was good enough at that to teach people. What was the worst outfit you ever wore? I can't think of like one particular thing, but I do remember when I was at school, I used to always think that it was fashionable to have everything the same colour. So I would have like a blue clip, a blue bag, a blue top, blue trousers, blue shoes, blue socks. Everything was exactly the same. Not even a different shade, like the most matching it could be. That's when I first started like choosing my own clothes and things like that. I thought that's what it had to be. Everything had to be one colour. So there was a lot of times back in high school where I would literally be wearing head to toe pastel pink, head to toe pastel yellow, or head to toe baby blue. What is your favourite holiday of the year and why? I really love Christmas. This year was our first Christmas in the house and I did the Christmas dinner and I really enjoyed it. But I really like every holiday. I like an excuse I like decorating the table, getting people over. Last year I did like a little Halloween party and things like that, so I enjoy just anything that is an excuse to celebrate. Let's find some more questions. Are you a morning or a night person? I am 100% a morning person. Even at the moment with us in lockdown and we don't have to go anywhere, I'm still up at pretty much 6:30 every morning. That's probably just because I sit on Animal Crossing for a good hour and a half and wait for the shops to open and then make my breakfast. But yeah, 100% an early bird. Can you curl your tongue? I can't, but I can do this. That's really hard. I've got Invisalign braces in, so that's actually really hard to do. Now I've got them in. Yeah. Do you bite your nails? I do, but again, because I've got these braces in, it's really hard to bite my nails. Do you smoke? Nope, and I never have. Have you ever met any celebrities? Well, this could be a whole video in itself. Yes, I have met Paris Hilton, who is my ultimate idol, but I'm not going to bore you with the whole story of that. But yeah, I've met Paris Hilton. We've met, me and my sister have met Fern Cotton when we went to the Happy Pace Festival. I've met Jen Morrison, who is Emma Swan in Once Upon a Time. If I could meet any other celebrities though, I would love to meet Holly Willoughby. And there's a couple of like Instagrammers who I would love to meet, so I'd love to meet In The Fro. And there's a couple of other bloggers who I'd love to meet in person and just have a coffee with. How are you feeling right now? Well, all things considered, I'm actually feeling really good. The last few weeks have been an absolute living nightmare. So we had to go through the process of our wedding being cancelled, rearranging everything for a new date, and then realising that that new date was going to have to be next year, and kind of coming to terms with that and dealing with all the emotions. So there's stress, you're upset, you're kind of relieved, then you're messaging everybody and then they're upset as well, or some of them are relieved, and it was just so much emotion. All that alongside with not being able to go out anywhere. Normally that's the time when I would eat my feelings away, so I would go to this place that we've got near us called Sweet, and I would have a big massive waffle with ice cream and raspberries on top, and all I could think of was if I could just eat that right now, it would probably fix all of my problems. But right now I'm feeling okay. It's been lovely and sunny the last few days. We've been outside with the dogs, we've got loads of chores done, finally caught up with all the housework that we needed to do. So I've been able to now take some photographs. I'm going to do some blogging tomorrow. I'm feeling really good. Were you ever a scout or a brownie? Yes, I was a brownie. I wasn't very good though. We went to like a brownie camp overnight and I think I lasted about 4 hours before I cried my eyes out and wanted to come home. Also, weirdly enough, you could take one book with you. So everybody brought like different storybooks, a lot of like Tracy Beaker, those kind of things. And I brought the Queen Mother's autobiography. Or biography, whichever it was. So yeah, That's the book I brought to the brownie camp with me. The Queen Mother's autobiography. What movie have you watched repeatedly? I always watch Tangled, Despicable Me 1, 2 and 3, Minions. My favourite film is 50 First Dates. I'm a creature of habit. I hate watching new films. I love going to the cinema. When I'm at home and Netflix is on, I'll probably never choose to watch a film that I've never seen before. I always just end up watching the same ones. What is your pet peeve? That's difficult. I hate when people really blatantly lie, and then I feel really awkward when I find out the lie and then make them feel really awkward by accident, because then they're trying to cover up their lie, if you know what I mean. I can't really give an example without being really nasty about somebody. But yeah, when somebody lies and then you bring something up and then they know that you know that they're lying, but nobody said you're lying. If that makes sense. What is your current obsession? My Nintendo Switch. So last month I got my Nintendo Switch and I downloaded Animal Crossing, and I am well and truly obsessed. Dave was taking the mick out of me before I got the Switch, saying, oh, you're talking about this all the time, but now I've got it, he's probably sitting downstairs fishing right now. What is your least favourite thing about yourself? It's a bit of a random one, but I really don't like my skin. So I have quite bad eczema, I have quite bad like bumpy skin on the backs of my arms, and it takes a lot of work to get my skin looking really nice, and the same for my face. Like when all of this was going on with the wedding and things, I had such bad rash all down the side of my face. So yeah, I would love to peel my skin off and swap it with somebody else's. 3 things that make you happy. I love being home, wherever that may be. I love being with my dogs and sitting on the sofa at home. Food can pretty much change my mood from one to another instantly. And I also just like being content. I'm not really one for going out and finding huge adventure and things like that. I like being content and cosy and chilled. Do you consider yourself a good cook? I wouldn't say I'm a brilliant cook by any standards, but I am trying to get a little bit better. What is your favourite thing to have for breakfast? I am so cliche. I love toast, avocado and a poached egg on top. The last thing you brought. So I brought some like mesh things that go on the outside of plant pots so that your strawberries don't touch the soil and get something called soil rot or ground rot. So interesting. Do you give people a second chance? And a third, and a fourth, and a fifth, and a sixth, and a seventh, until my sister tells me, y'all need to cut them out of your life. What's this? Plug. Have you ever participated in a talent show? No, but I did some pageants. I don't think that can be classed as a talent. Do you speak any different languages? So at school I learnt French. I wouldn't say I'm great. I think if somebody was talking French, I don't think I'd have a clue what they were saying. But at the moment I'm learning Swedish using the Duolingo app. Again, I wouldn't say I'm brilliant, but I'm a lot better at Swedish than I am at French. Have you ever had braces? Yes, I'm wearing them now. I had train tracks when I was in school, and then for the wedding now I've had Invisalign to make gaps in my teeth so that I can have veneers done on the 4 at the top and 2 at the bottom. So they have to make a bit more of a gap in between my teeth so they can actually build the teeth up and put the veneers on. So yeah, I've got braces right now. What is one item that's on your bucket list? I would love a piece of Jonah Jinton jewellery. I keep sending Dave the links to all my favourite pieces of her jewellery. So I'd love a piece of her jewellery. And the last one, what should I choose? I'll just do this. If you had more courage, what would you do differently in your life now? I think if I was a bit more confident and courageous, I probably would just pursue a self-employed kind of career and just actually go for it, kind of not be a bit more carefree. But I'm glad that I'm not, and I'm glad that I'm doing things the right way, saving up first, trying things out, doing things alongside a normal full-time job. That's my Q&A done. Hopefully you know me a little bit more now. If you have any other questions, pop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Now I'm gonna go pop my shorts on and go sit in the garden with a nice glass of lemonade and play on my Nintendo. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!